The Shire of Glenelg, nestled in the southwest corner of Victoria, has unfortunately no form of heavy rail transport. Its main town centre being Portland, with a population of 10,000, should get a form of heavy rail transport, and in fact it did have a rail line. In this week's video, we will be covering the Portland line's history, closure, branch lines, accidents, services, where it is today, and will services resume. History. Built in 1877 by Victorian Railways as 1,600mm gauge, broad gauge, the Portland line was converted to standard gauge in 1995. In 1981, the final passenger service arrived at Portland, hauled by DRC, Diesel Rail Club. The only exception is the Overland, using a small section near Ararat. In 2004, Pacific National suspended all trains to and from Portland, which affected Portland Aluminium, transport company Kalari, and freight broker Anchor Logistics, but they were reintroduced sometime between 2005 and 2007. In 2008, Pacific National stopped their grain trains, which limited rolling stock on the line. In July of that year, line speed was upgraded to 80 km per hour, 55 miles per hour, which costed around $15 million. In September of that same year, El Zorro started using the line to run mineral and sand trains to the southwest of Melbourne. And in the 2010 harvest, grain trains started running again. Closure. In 1981, passenger service ceased. Along with that, all railway stations were closed. These include Haywood, Hamilton, Dunkeld, and Willora, with populations just under or above 500, with the largest of these being Hamilton with a population of almost 10,000. In 1999, the line was closed in stages due to gauge conversion, but reopened after conversion was finished. The entire line almost closed in 2004 due to Pacific National ceasing operations. There have been numerous branch lines which once ran from the Portland line, and we will talk about them when we get to branch lines. The first branch line to be built off the Portland line was the Coleraine line, opened in 1882 branching off the Portland line at Coleraine Junction. It closed in 1977. The Casterton line opened in 1884 branching off the Portland line at Branxholme, and it was also closed in 1977. The Corriott line branched off the Portland line at Coleraine Junction. It connected the Portland and Port Fairy lines. It was closed in 1977. The Cavendish line was opened in the 1910s, which connected Horsham to the Balmoral line. It branched off the Portland line at North Hamilton and was closed in 1979. The Mount Gambier line opened in 1917 and branched off the Portland line at Haywood West. Services stopped in 1995 due to the Portland line being standardized. Accidents. In 1910, the left coupling rod of an engine fell while traveling near Hamilton. This almost split the sleepers in two. Services. In 1880, 2 return trips ran daily. In 1905, 2 return trips ran and 1 train terminated at Portland daily. In 1928, 2 return trips ran daily. In 1954, 3 return trips ran daily to Hamilton, with 1 train continuing to Portland. In 1966, 2 return trips ran daily. In 1967, 3 return trips ran daily to Hamilton, with 1 continuing to Portland. In 1975, 4 return services ran daily. In 1968, Portland received a new railway station. Passenger services stopped in 1981, and the line is now freight only. In 2020, when the Mildura line was converted to standard gauge, grain trains would now run down to Portland instead of Geelong. Before that, trains ran 3 times weekly, provided by El Zorro. Where is it today? Today, the Portland line is a freight-only line. All passenger services have ceased in the 80s. Most of the railway stations are preserved in town centres. The tracks have since been converted to standard gauge, and the line is used frequently. Most goods yards have been closed. The only passenger trains to use the line is the twice-weekly Overland, using a short sections from Maroona to Ararat. Will services resume? There currently aren't any plans to reopen the Portland line, but I would like to see it reopen. It could serve a lot of people, and the branch line could also be built to Mount Gambier. If services would return, either the Portland line would have to be converted to dual gauge, or gauge converting trains would have to be ordered, since the Ararat line is broad gauge and the Portland line is standard gauge. And personally, I don't see trains running via the Geelong to Ararat lines. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you liked this video about the Portland line. History on the railway stations will be uploaded as a short. If you have any suggestions on what line I should do next, then leave a comment below. If not, I'll see you later.